Yo, 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 what up, what up? All right, we back with a new week. As always, we're going to start off with the updates from last week, and then we're going to dive into what I will be looking at this week. For this week, I do plan on taking it easy and more so of just letting more structure form so I can see some of the next moves, at least on the DXY. We're in a crucial area, so I'm going to show you guys that. We'll break down everything. Last week, we did have another beautiful week. Overall, the week was a profitable week. We did finally take a loss, though. We've had, I think, the last 3 weeks, we had no losses at all. And we were looking for this week to be the fourth. Now, they were all profitable. And since the beginning of 2024, we've had nothing but profitable weeks. Even last week, some trades, they still were profitable. We still made money, but we did finally take a loss last week. So I did want to update y'all on that. Also, the drawing for the mentoring giveaway for those who have been participating basically in the comments. I'm going to be doing that on this upcoming Wednesday session. So I'm going to be picking the winner for this upcoming Wednesday session. So stay tuned for that. We will draw the winner then. Other than that, man, let's go ahead and dive in on this week's Forex Weekly Outlook. So Bitcoin, we didn't trade Bitcoin last week, but I just wanted to give y'all a slight perspective of what I'm looking at. So I did share this with y'all about 2-3 weeks ago. We were looking at, well, the week before last week, we were looking at a buying opportunity up into this area. And so we were able to achieve that. Last week, we left it alone because we were waiting for one of these two areas for us to get a reaction. We actually did get the reaction last week in the first FEG, and then we started to decline towards the downside. Right now, we do look like we are in a impulsive correction and potentially another impulsive state. This is not an area where you would want to enter necessarily. I would need a little bit more of a premium range in order to enter. So it would need to come back and mitigate in order for me to look for some type of continuation trade down. But we are starting to break structure towards the downside. That's going to be one of the internal lows that was broken, which has now given us an internal change of character. So we could be looking at that continuation towards the downside on BTC. So I just wanted to give y'all a quick update on that. Again, I'm not going to be looking at any trades on this for this upcoming week, just watching it. So last week, gold literally crashed. This was one of the trades we were able to catch. I did let the students know that I am going to be looking to enter gold around this range. And we literally caught the full meltdown into the target range. So this was a beautiful trade that we were able to take last week. Starting off at the beginning of the week, I told you guys we were looking at a retracement and then a continuation down. And so throughout the week, I started to see those signs that we might not retrace all the way back up. Again, that's why it's key to be in the chat room. It's completely free. The link is down below in the description and in the comments. But make sure you're in the chat room because that's where all of these updates go so you guys don't miss out on any potential opportunities. But that's going to be gold. For this week, I don't have anything on gold. I'm just going to continue to be patient and let it start to slow down, and then we'll look at that. Right now, that's going to be heavily dependent on the war situation. My bad, guys. DXY. So for the DXY, what I will be looking at this week. So this is last week, and you guys can see kind of what happens. Overall, we still ended up tapping into that original range that we were looking at price action to head towards the upside. But here, so this first tap here, we actually started to look at some of the moves we were expecting them to go ahead and start happening. So this ended up being a fake out, and it got me too. But we started out the week looking at this movement here. Once we started to get around here, we started to look at some of the dollar pairs and tried to catch some opportunities. We did catch some now. So for example, USD CHF. We were able to catch this one around this range, and we just hopped on in and just rode it towards the upside. So this was another one that I gave out with that update midweek that this one's probably going to potentially look to head towards the upside, and it actually did. So if y'all were able to catch some of that, then cheers. Again, it did start to retrace towards the downside after that DXY did that punk fake. So that was that move. But towards the beginning of the week, we were able to grab a little bit off of that as well. And so right now, what do I think the DXY is going to be doing? So for this week on the DXY, again, I really want to be a little bit more patient because we are, yes, in the key area that we were expecting the reaction from, but we also did start to build a little bit more structure on that downside, and on an internal basis, we started to break structure. So that is it's a little bit worrisome for me. Again, we are still in that key area, so it could just do a small little retracement and then continue straight up towards the beginning of the week, or we could be looking to head down further to take this low. So that's going to be a whole nother scenario. So that's why I want to just kind of chill this week more so and watch the DXY to see what exactly it's going to do for its next move. And this week it should show that. So I'm going to be very easy on the DXY this week and just let it show its move. So let me go through these updates and I'm going to show you guys the 2 losses that we took as well. So the actual 2 losses were on EU and GU. So this was the original EURUSD that I shared with you guys last week. And we're looking for price action to tap into this range and then make a reaction towards the downside. For those of y'all that caught the YouTube, then potentially you were looking at an entry point in this area, right? So we are now leaving this alone. So if you did catch anything from the YouTube, then please understand that I am no longer looking at this opportunity right now. It is at break even. So again, no longer looking at it, okay? So last week, the loss we took was when that early punk fake, I was looking at a small retracement because we got an internal shift. I was looking at a small retracement and a continuation down, and it fucked me. So that's really what happened on this one for EURUSD, GBP USD. So same thing. Got that internal structure. We were looking at those continuations starting to basically, play in. But again, trapped us all, screwed me over. So that was the loss there. The 2 losses that we took last week. Overall, again, EURUSD, I'm going to leave it alone for now just to see what exactly the DXY wants to do, because on the internal structure, we are starting to switch bullish, but on an external structure, we are still in a bearish state. Now, we are due for potential retracement as well. For example, on the 4 to 8 hour, even the daily time frame, we made this internal change of character, and then we made this external change of character. So here, so we could be due for a decent mitigation before a continuation down. Now that is possible. If so, again, you're looking at a daily retracement. So I want this week to really just show me exactly what's going to happen. And how would I know this week what's going to happen? Okay. So I'm going to give y'all a little insight. I'm not just going to leave y'all dry. So I'm going to give y'all a little insight. So what exactly am I looking at for this week? This week on EURUSD, I'm going to be focusing on this level here. And I am going to be focusing on this level here, okay? So if price action is to break up and clear this level, then we would get an internal change of character, and I would be looking for a short-term retracement, and I would be wanting to capitalize on this buy opportunity up into a mitigation point. That's what I'm going to look for if we do get this. Now, on the downside, if we do continue to break down, one key level I'm going to look at is here, but right before that level is going to be here. If we are able to break and close this level and retrace, I would more than likely be interested in looking for that continuation to finally get that BOS towards the downside, which is what we were looking for last week. So for this week, I either need price action to break this level or break this level. And then I'll make my next move. Again, make sure you're in the chat room. Link is down below. It's completely free. This is where I'm going to keep y'all updated on this as price action moves. Cool. NZD USD. So this is another one that I shared with y'all last week. I thought the move was here. I stopped paying attention. It ended up coming up perfectly to our area and started to decline. So if y'all caught some of this, cheers. You would potentially still be in profit. Now that you know my perspective on the DXY, just be cautious of that because it could head right back towards the upside without taking this low. So you're talking about at market open, you're looking at a potential something like this. So just be cautious. But that was another one that did overall turn out pretty nice so far, at least I would say. So profitable there. Gold profitable. USD CHF, we were profitable. Okay, so that's y'all's NU update. GJ. So, okay. So GJ was another one that I pushed out to the team last week, which we were able to make a little bit of profit on this one. We actually took some partials on this one as it headed towards the upside. Even as of right now, it's still nicely in profit. But this was another one that I shared with the team last week with the students. So this was a student-only trade. For those of y'all that are interested in our mentoring package, the link to our website is down below. All of the information to our mentoring school is on our website for you guys. For those of y'all that are new with me, I have been trading for about 11 years now, y'all. I specialize in Elliott Waves and smart money concepts. So that's my trading style in a nutshell. The trading strategy that we use in particular is our 5-step strategy, which is combined with Elliott Waves and a few other things as well. So other than that, that is going to be GJ update for y'all there. Odd USD was another one that I shared with y'all on the YouTube as well last week. first pop in here, it got a decline. Second pop in here, got another decline. So even if y'all are holding this one for last week, this is another one that potentially you're still in profit on, or maybe you got some partials, or maybe it closed you back at entry, but it shouldn't have been a loss, right? So another nice opportunity. Again, yes, we took 2 losses last week, but as I'm going through this, I'm showing you guys that we still ended the week profitable as well. So we are still overall on our streak from the beginning of 2026. It's been literally straight profitable weeks since the beginning of the year. So it has been insane. So we are literally still carrying on that. I was hoping that we can go another flawless week with 0 losses at all, but it looks like that ended this week. So it's all good, man. I already updated y'all on USD CHF. So this week, again, I'm looking at EURUSD. I just gave y'all the outcome on that. New opportunity I'm going to be looking at as well is going to be odd USD. Now, this is going to be a carryover from last week into this week. So I'll give y'all that update of what I'm looking for. I really want to see this low taken. Okay. This low needs to be taken in order for me to confirm the further shift towards the downside. If not, then we might look to see price action head back towards the upside on a double bottom from this area where we're at right now. So I just want y'all to be mindful of that, especially for those of y'all that are in profit. I don't want y'all to lose that profit. So be mindful that we could double bottom out right here and head straight towards the upside if the two continue towards the downside straight off the market open for tomorrow. Last thing that I am going to be looking at for this week, and this is going to be a new opportunity that I'm going to be watching, is going to be EURNZD. I'm going to be waiting for price action to retrace into this range. If I am able to get price action to retrace into this range, I will be looking for an upside move into this area without price action breaking this low. So my invalidation point is going to be at this low. Cool. So that is going to be EURNZD that I will be watching. Also, again, I'm going to keep y'all updated in the chat room. The link is down below. It's completely free. For those of y'all that are students, we are going to be dropping the newest part of the mentoring course. Literally within 24 hours, you guys can log in and start learning the newest education. So I'm really excited for that. You guys, I know y'all been waiting on that for a little minute, or at least for a few months. For those of y'all that are new, we just completely revamped the entire mentoring course. The entire online school, completely new platform, completely new, better experience, all new education. I just redid everything for y'all, giving y'all all of the great and just good stuff. I also minimized a lot of the educational content that was in the course that was more so very, very beginner. Now, there is a beginner portion to the course, but I've narrowed it down significantly. And this course is going to primarily focus on the good stuff, just the straight sauce out of my strategy. So this course is primarily for you guys to learn our 5-step strategy and just to make money the same way I make money every single week. So I want to make y'all snipers the same way I've been sniping these charts for years. So cheers, man, to the new course. What other updates I got for y'all? I think that's it right now, man. I do move in about 3 more weeks. So my whole life is literally in boxes right now. We got the new desk for y'all. So I'm excited about that. I have to finish that off. The office setup is about to be crazy. I can't wait to finish it, y'all. I've spent almost $10,000 so far, literally getting this office right. So I'm excited, just more so of to have something that's more inspirational when I come into the lab every day. So I'm redoing the entire office, new crib, 3-story crib. I'm excited, y'all. So that's in 3 weeks, man. We moving on up, y'all. We moving on up as we continue to progress. Just upgraded the PC as well 2 months ago. So spent $2,000 on that. New monitors as well. Spent $1,000 on those. I think I'm actually going to upgrade the monitors though. Again, literally, I want this. What is it like? I don't know. I think it's a 48-inch LG. I don't know. The shit's almost $3,000, but it's one big long ass fan. I'm thinking about upgrading to that one, even though right now I have 232 inches. So literally it's 64 inches of monitor in front of me right now, 4K. But I think I'm gonna upgrade that as well. But I just been upgrading everything. But I'm gonna show y'all the office when I do upgrade. When I upgrade, we'll finish everything. I am gonna show y'all the office. I already bought everything, so it's just the process of moving and then customizing the room, putting it all together. So I'm excited for that. Other than that, man, that's all the updates I got for y'all. Y'all have a great trading week. Trade safe. Again, I will keep y'all updated in the chat room. The mentoring package giveaway, that's going to be this Wednesday. I'm going to be doing that live on the call for y'all. For those of y'all that have been participating, dropping comments. Every 8 weeks, I'm going to choose a person that's been leaving comments on our videos and we're going to be giving away a free mentoring package, a lifetime package that includes everything, access to all of my trades in the FXK locker room, which is included with the mentoring package. That's where I post all of my weekly trades that I take personally, all of that. So you guys are going to get that opportunity to win that every 8 weeks for free for the rest of 2026. So I'm just going to be doing that to give back to y'all, for those of y'all that are just showing love to me. So that's how we're doing it. Other than that, appreciate y'all. Much love. Let's have another profitable week, and I will catch y'all later. Again, this week, I'm taking it light. I'm not really trying to go heavy this week. I'm more so of just being a student, watching the market, seeing what happens. Again, we have this war situation going on. It's escalating very fast. So the market is just going to be a little bit, I would say, on edge over the next few days. We literally just had Fed last week. So there's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on right now. So I'm going to let the market show its next card, and then I'm going to take that from there. Okay. All right, y'all.